everyone, Chris G here, and here we have an LG Gram 16. It's been a while since I've been in the studio recording a computer video. But I guess it's kind of like riding a bike, you know? You just sort of hop on and then fall down. For those, by the way, I apologize in advance if the camera quality is bad. I kind of can tell on my monitor that it's not wonderful, but my producer isn't here to bail me out, so I'm just going by some notes that he gave me and I didn't understand a frickin' one of them. So anyway, apologies for the bad camera quality, but alas, it's all about the LG Gram 16. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive right into this. What we want to find out today is if this LG Gram 16 is a good laptop, and if you should buy one yourself. Now I am, and frankly always have been, a pretty big fan of the LG Gram computers. We've reviewed quite a few of them on our channel, and they've always been ultimately pretty solid machines. This particular one is equipped with the 12th generation i7 processor. Of course, they do come with the 13th generation ones as well. 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 500 gig solid state drive. That is, of course, NVMe. Now the NVMe drive is serviceable on here, so that's kind of nice if you wanted to swap it out for a higher amount of storage. Now the LG Grams aren't cheap. You can get them refurbished, which is frankly how I'd recommend buying one of these things, for probably about 800 bucks or so. Brand new, they kind of vary, but ultimately they're kind of a above $1,000 machine. Not really sure they're worth the asking price brand new, but used at about, like, again, 800 in like a like new condition, they are frankly incredible bang for your buck. The LCD screen on here is a glossy display, admittedly a little too glossy, but it's 300 nit brightness, so you can use this under like a bright light, such as like in a library on a college campus, under an office, that kind of thing, but you are probably gonna need to fiddle with the angle to make sure that light isn't hitting the screen directly. In fact, I'm not really sure if you can see it on the monitor there, but yeah, there we go. Like, I mean, that is just a mirror reflecting on there. But in any event, otherwise it is a very, very beautiful panel. It is extremely colorful with very, very deep blacks, rich colors, and bright whites. It is a touch display that can be turned into a tablet if you want to, so it can bend all the way backwards into tablet mode. And it doesn't have any kind of meaningful HDR support. I was a little disappointed in that, but especially for the price bracket that these things come in. But it is otherwise a super sharp display, and it is awarded a 4 out of 5. It is very, very fantastic. Keyboard on this thing is unequivocally a 5 out of 5. It is incredibly tactile. The keyboard is just in an intuitive, everything is simple and where your fingers kind of naturally align to. It's responsive, you won't have a lot of typos, it's full size for those needing data entry, it's got a backlight on it. There really isn't a whole lot more that you want from this keyboard. It is absolutely excellent. Trackpad, on the other hand, is it's okay. It's probably like 4 out of 5-ish, but like I mean, well, first off, it's big. I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost competing with the MacBook Pro trackpads. It's very responsive and has a very, very nice tactile feel when you press down on it, but it does ghost slightly and just isn't like, it's not perfect, but it is excellent and certainly one of the better trackpads that we have used. Again, awarded a 4 out of 5. Where it does take a step back though, however, is where most laptops take a step back, and that is with its speakers. They are awarded a 2 out of 5 because they have no highs, no lows, no mids, no definition, they distort, they really don't get that loud either. If you're an audiophile, you will absolutely want a set of headphones to use with this thing, but you know, they may be closer to like a 3 out of 5, but they're pretty chintzy. For the price bracket, LG needs to do a better job with engineering the sound quality in these things. But where it lacks in sound, it makes up for in ports. It has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports here on the side. That is awesome for expandability, that kind of thing. And of course, that's where you also charge the laptop, is with a USB-C charger, because it doesn't run on solar energy. But you also have a TRRR-S jack on this side as well. On here, you've got a talking conventional USB super speed port, and then a micro SD card reader. Now, I.O. we are still going to award it a 4 out of 5, even though we feel like it probably should have come with an HDMI port, maybe another Thunderbolt 4 port, or like another USB Type A port. But ultimately it is very, very good I.O. Again, maybe also like a full-size SD card would have been a little nicer, but I can see how they were kind of trying to save space in the chassis. Either way, I.O. is still pretty darn good. Features on this computer, I mean, they're really, I'd say they're like better than average. You don't have a Hello compatible fingerprint reader, but you do have a Windows Hello compatible camera, so that's kind of nice. Again, no HDR support, but it is a touchscreen that turns into a tablet, and LG was nice enough to include a stylus with it as well. So, much like Asus, but not like Lenovo and Dell, they give you a little pen. So yeah, nice touch on LG's part there. It does have a very good webcam on it. In fact, it's one of the best that we've tested lately. This is a test of the webcam on the LG 16-inch. Yeah, it'll actually do pretty good for like Zoom and Teams and Office and all that good stuff. Definitely good for typical socializing. It does not have a little shutter, like a little privacy shutter on the webcam, so, you know, some people might miss that. So, you know, again, frankly, we rated it a 3 out of 5, but honestly the features might even be kind of edging closer to a 4 out of 5 when we kind of consider everything else in the package. It's just, again, for the new price bracket of these things, that's where we think it kind of, you know, it's where we were sort of in an internal debate with ourselves. Some other features to note is that it has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth built in, so as far as the modern wireless technology, you've got all that good stuff. But again, as far as anything that really like sticks out, I'm not really sure there's something that necessarily takes it out from the crowd, other than, again, maybe it's like size, weight to performance ratio. But mobility on it is absolutely fantastic and is awarded a 5 out of 5. You get basically 15 plus hours of like practical battery life on this thing. It's made out of magnesium alloy, which is a little bit of a polarizing opinion on the internet. Other reviewers, some of them like it, some of them don't. We frankly like it. We think that it's built really well and tough. The hinges are all good, if not maybe a little bit shaky. I don't know if the camera's kind of picking up on that, but basically it is slightly wobbly, but ultimately the thing is super thin, super light. This thing comes in at like roughly about 2.5 pounds, basically under 3 pounds, and can take a beating if you are taking this thing in and out of an airport, backpack, traveling with it, etc., and so forth. So yeah, this is a fantastic laptop for like a businessman or woman, a college student. They do also come with some dedicated graphics card models as well, so if you need some extra power for like CAD work and stuff like that, it certainly can handle that. I wouldn't exactly say this thing is a gaming laptop. It does have a 2560 by 1600 display, so gaming and driving all of those pixels is gonna be a little bit difficult for this thing. So, but anyway, yeah, from a mobility standpoint, a durability standpoint, this thing is absolutely aces. Now, performance is no exception either. Let's go ahead and minimize this video here. We ran a Geekbench test on it. Where are we at here? Get out of here. Geekbench, 1218 single core. For those that care about what that means, you'll know what it means, so we're not gonna bother diving into the details of that. Suffice to say, even though this thing is very thin, very light, and probably has some adjusted CPUs and cooling and thermal management and all that stuff, so you can kind of see the screen wobbling a little bit. It is still a very powerful laptop and will do fantastic with like multitasking and all of the other general things that you would want to throw its way, such as, again, some like heavy stuff, maybe like CAD, Photoshop, maybe a little bit of video editing, some audio editing, that kind of thing. Performance, especially considering its size and everything, is awarded a 5 out of 5. Now, who is this computer for? As we said, probably not for gamers. You can maybe do some light gaming on it, such as Minecraft or Minesweeper. But as far as AAA titles on any kind of meaningful settings, you will not be able to do that on here.
Settle down, girl.
Definitely for audio editors. So if you are a mobile podcaster or somebody that does audio editing on site, or somebody that needs to just have this thing kind of docked into like a workstation with microphones and all that stuff, this thing will be absolutely perfect with its 16-inch screen and all the Thunderbolt 4. Video editing, you could get away with some 1080p and maybe even some compressed 4K as well. But then otherwise it's for accountants and anybody that has a big budget that can afford a very nice, slick machine. We've always been kind of impressed with the LG Grams. They always try to kind of do something a little bit different than the other guys and ultimately put premium materials in their product as well. We're just pretty big fans. Is it perfect? No, but overall score is awarded about a 4 to like a 4.12-ish, I think, out of 5, which is an absolutely outstanding score. I would absolutely recommend it. LG Grams have overall been pretty reliable too, with some minimal issues. We've had some come back into our shop for, I don't know, goofy things that usually have been either resolved by like driver or BIOS updates. We do admit that LG is not quite as good at updating or keeping up to date with their platforms as like Dell or Lenovo is, but otherwise you really shouldn't have too many issues with it. They're pretty solid and reliable. So anyway, do we recommend it? Yes. Go out and buy one if you are in the market for a nice 16-inch machine. When you compare this with, like, let's say the Inspiron 16, we think it's better than the Inspiron 16, but maybe not quite as good as the Inspiron 16 Plus. That said though, of course, you're also buying this maybe for a different reason. If you're somebody that travels a lot, obviously this is going to be a better option than the Inspiron 16. But if you're somebody that needs a little bit more horsepower, then you'll want the 16 from Dell. Anyway, if you have any questions on the LG Gram 16, please feel free to reach out to us in the comments section. Please like and subscribe. Hope this video was helpful, and we will be back with another video really soon.